Hello, my loves. Hello, happy Sunday. How are you? It is sun setting right now. It's so pretty outside. Y'all know when it's like that beautiful sunset and you still get like that glimpse of sun. Y'all see I'm oily. Um, I did my face and I had a little running around, running around looking like Aunt Jemima with this bonnet on and my nothing on leggings and y'all, it's just a day, but my face is done. That's okay though. Listen, I am doing a little small, little itty bitty seafood boil, not a big feast or anything. I'm doing some I got some lobster tails right here. I only got three, and right now I got my water going. I got my water starting right now. Okay, so we got the water going to coming to a boil. I got my garlic and onions and my seasonings in there, and I got my crab legs over there soaking, just because when you, depending on how you buy your crab legs, if you buy them like I just bought these just out the meat department at the store, just like you know how you can get a box of them frozen. So I got those, but you want to rinse them and you want to scrub the you want to scrub the you want to scrub the this off, okay, because it does have some grit. Y'all see that little white stuff off of there? You want to get that off of there, okay? That's the sand and the crud. You don't want to eat that. You want to get that stuff off of there. You will feel it and it's gritty. So you just get you a bowl of water, a big mixing bowl or whatever. Just put them in there as you can fit them. You fill it up with water and you just in there swishing it around, and cold water, not hot, not warm water or hot water, because seafood starts to cook right away when it gets any heat to it. So you don't want the hot water to start to cook the meat. So it has to be cold water, and you just rub them off, scrub them. You can have like a soft Brillo pad, or like if you can find some of these sponges that got like, it's like the sponge in the inside but it has the scrubby on the outside, you can use one of those if you got it specifically for stuff like that. Just nothing soap, none of that, just water, good water, clean nice sponge, or your hands. Or sometimes they have like those little handheld sponges or scrub brushes, those little smaller ones, something like that. And you're not going to be scrubbing hard, but just a little bit. All you do is just take a light little thing and go through it. You feel it, you make sure it's smooth, rinse them off, and make sure they're good and clean before they go into the water, okay? With the lobster tails, you want to kind of prep those. You want to rinse them off good. Just rinse them off, and the tails and the fans and stuff or whatever. You want to just make sure everything is rinsed off, it's clean, and everything. Okay. So Jeffree Starr just made a video. So we know James Charles made his video yesterday, and since James Charles made his video yesterday, basically giving his response, because when people come out and start telling a story, then here you're going to have somebody else that's going to come back and they are going to fill in the holes, basically, right? So because there's multiple sides to stories, depending on how many people are involved and depending on who's telling it, that's gonna tell you what version you're gonna get. And of course, when you're telling the story, you may add a little something in there about yourself, but it's mostly going to be about the other person. So especially when you are explaining conversations that were had between multiple people, things are going to be missing. Okay, so basically James Charles, he came back and he said, look, yeah, these things happen, but let me just tell you the parts that are missing, right? And the parts that were missing were very, very relevant, all right? As far as the guy, everybody's talking about the Seattle situation with this guy. James coming and saying how the stuff happened and what exactly happened, it changes the whole narrative of that, okay? And then as far as him you know, having a pedophilia nature and, you know, being predatory and stuff like that, definitely changed that narrative. Okay. And as far as just the story, you know, with the sugar bear and the sponsorship, he gave a timeline. He gave a timeline. And what I'm big on is him reaching out behind the scenes. He didn't make this public. Tati made this public. And so that changes everything. It changes everything. Because here we have a 19-year-old young man who came into an industry that he wanted to be a part of, wasn't accepted right away, got somebody that helped him out, you know. They were open to hearing him, open to the conversation. And not only that, you know, gave him the resources that he needed to get his foot in the door. And then from there, he took off. And he's done well. And he's still doing awesome. And so it was, you know, kind of like, you know, you have this friendship. Yes, the age difference is huge. But what I do know here on YouTube, age really isn't a relevant factor when it comes to friendships or just the situationships, YouTube ships. You know, age isn't really a factor. We have all these different people on this platform, and grown is grown and a kid is a kid, you know, pretty much. You have people on here that's 10, 20 years apart and they mesh well together, and then you have some that may be the same age and not get along at all. So I don't think that the age difference between the two really had meant that they couldn't have the friendship, but I very much so feel that it has something to do with how you handle different situations. And James was definitely the mature one in this situation. You know, yes, he took the sponsorship. He's 19 years old and he wanted to go to Coachella. He didn't give a fuck what it took for him to get in there. He wanted in there. Okay? Me, a 40-year-old woman, wanted to go to Coachella with my YouTube people. But, you know, if it meant my friendship being at stake, I may have, oh, fuck it, I already went last week. You know what? Just forget it. It's cool. He's 19. He wants to have fun. He had fun, but he didn't want that to be the end of it, so he wanted in. He found a way to get in. And now I do believe, Tati, you know, I do believe that he is the type that he knows how to get what he wants. Obviously, he showed that, okay? Getting into Coachella. You know, he showed that he's made his way of how to work around and find loopholes. And, you know, he knows how to get in the door, okay? So, I believe that when she said that. And I do feel like he's a little bratty and he wants his way. But I also feel like that friendship meant something to him. And after he had his experience and after he's, you know, was back to work, back to reality, and he realizes it's back to business because I got a sponsorship I got to do. I need to let her know. And, you know, he did it how he did it behind the scenes. And Tati did acknowledge that. And she wasn't too impressed by how he brought it to her. And then he also went ahead and gave the apology in public. And she still wasn't impressed. And she took it and she decided to make that video. After he did the apology behind closed doors and in front of the world. Now, the other thing, so there's three things here, three main key points of why Tati's video was so impactful. Definitely the sexual situation. Okay, definitely. because people just kind of fuck the vitamins. You know, he's a predator. Okay, that's what's been said, and that's what people have been focusing on. Now, and then the friendship part of it, like, damn, you couldn't. I did all this for you, and it's been years, and we've been good, and you can't let this one contract go. You can't let this one sponsorship go. And then you don't even tell me about it until, you know, I got to find out about it, and then you tell me. So that was lied about and wasn't, you know, the full details weren't given about that. And then the I just went totally blank. But yeah, so the third point, and then just the about him not supporting her brand. So those three things were very, very impactful in why people went against James Charles. Because especially when she started her video and she set the pace saying how they came to know each other and what their relationship has been thus far. And then you go into, you know, he has this issue, like he's like some type of sexual issues going on, and just vulgar. And then you have, he doesn't support my brand because of this, that, and the third, but he jumps on this with them and goes with my number one competitor. And then he can't even give me the courtesy of letting me know behind closed doors and giving me a heads up. So it's just really disappointing for me, really, really disappointing for me, because anybody who sees Tati or watched her will feel that she is reputable, she is believable, she is trustworthy. And a lot of that for me has kind of like went out the window because she was very deceitful in how she gave the information that she gave. Okay, so I'm glad that James made his video. And then we go on to Jeffree Starr. And so Jeffree Starr, being Jeffree Starr, he rode for Tati. He came out and said things. He even lashed out to people connected to James Charles. Said some very horrific, horrible, nasty things. And now he made his video and he said, hey, I was wrong. I did that not even really knowing what the backstory was, not even knowing what the true details were. People came telling me, you know, something happens and people gonna come out the woodwork and just start, people gonna jump on it, and they just got all types of shit to tell people, and they gonna reach out to different people. And they, you know, Jeffree Starr was one of the people, and he just took what was said to him and ran. I still don't think that excuses Jeffree, because honestly, I feel like James Charles has the right to sue him, because, and Tati for that matter, because what's been said has been horrific. What's been said could possibly follow him for a long time. I will say this though, he's gotten over 1 million of his subscribers back, and that's a good thing, and that's only since he put out his video. So I'm hoping that people do resubscribe. If that is someone that you want supported, if that's someone that you enjoy their content, if that is someone that you are a fan of and you would like to continue to watch, I feel like you should go and subscribe. I feel like he's lucky that this has happened so early in his career. He has so much more life to live, a far way to go. And I feel like this is probably the worst thing that could have happened to him. And if it was going to happen, this is the time that it should have happened, because anything after this couldn't be any worse. So, you know, I will probably never meet James Charles or talk to him directly, but if any of you are James Charles supporters and, you know, you are a person that unsubscribed, or you are a person that's iffy about him, I feel like you should go ahead and subscribe, and you should continue to support him. Tati made a second video saying You know that she did try to set up a meeting with James. And he made a very good point. He said, you know, now these people are reaching out to me to meet with me and speak in person when that's all I was trying to do from the beginning. But they didn't want that. And now they want to come talk to me after they made this public. No, I'm good. I'm good. And even if they do rekindle their friendship or decide to put this behind them and move forward and work on things, there should always be forgiveness in your heart. Even if it's only for you, you should always forgive. But you know what? Just be careful. Just be careful. And because once you make it and you have the money to pay your way and to compensate people for what they do for you, just do that. Because it's sad that anytime someone does something for you, and if they weren't paid for it, if they helped you in any way, it's always going to come up. Trust me, it's always going to come up. People will offer. You don't even ask. You don't even ask. People will offer to do things for you, and then it definitely comes up later. So just do yourself a favor. Not so much for them, but do it for you. Go ahead and just work out something, whatever it is. If they don't want money, do something for them, whatever it is. James Charles proved that he did support Tati's brand on numerous occasions. No, it probably wasn't like a full sponsored video or anything like that, but he definitely supported her, her brand. He definitely cared about their friendship, and she didn't so much. You know, it's almost like she's 19 and he's 37. It's sad to say, but I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see y'all later.